Okay, guys, it is a Saturday, and I got my pills here with the brand package of the pharmacy that I need to take. So this is me on a Saturday with the two dogs around here. And there's Peggy. So you might know her. So I'm about to have breakfast and appreciate this moment and report it to my diet app. You can listen to it. I'll classify this as a late breakfast. So, if you recognize the sound, you know what that app is about. Okay, this is not charging. I want this to charge. Okay, it's charging now. So let me, a micro prayer for the food. I usually forget when I have food to do this, but when I don't, I do pray more. Okay, thanks. And some pepper while we set up this conversation, which is about, I'm about to take medication. After going as an adult to a psychiatrist, psychologist, psychiatry, psychology test for attention, procrastination, whatever bullshit. So I'm here now. It took a couple of months because, as you might know, as you know, I've been having economic, legal type of problem since since 6 months. Those things develop into more troubles. Financially, with family members, partners, for things we have in common because some family member left us together with those family members, and nutrition, food problems, health problems, physical, whatever. So I'm now continuing what was started at the start of the year by request of my family members, siblings mainly. That if I needed or wanted or was willing to go to a psychologist, psychiatrist, or medic or whatever. And I was ready for this request. And I said, yes, okay, perfect. That was before Christmas. And after that meeting, which was an ambush, a setup, like for talking about things we own together, whatever, it was 2 hours of ambush talking about me, and me being willingly to go for it. So that meeting ended. No things about property was talked, just 1 or 2 phrases before it ended that we're going to do this with that, just that. And I told them I'm not agreeing with this, that decision that was mentioned. And that was it. For 2 weeks, I was, okay, where is the psychiatrist, the psychologist? Who's doing the homework? Who should set up the meeting? Who is this going? Should I go? Should I not go? Blah, blah, blah. All that. I had meetings, sometimes individually, like, do you want me to go to a psychiatrist, psychologist? It depends up to you. Well, I'm willing. Yeah, but then if you're willing, because we are telling you you're not willing, all that circular talk, which is draining, I had with my brothers and sisters who were asking if I should go or was willing. So even that was a fucking pain in the ass. So after 5 minutes of video, this talk is about the psychologist recommendation ambush meeting I had with siblings because I've been advancing in the QLA methodology. If not years before that setup ambush meeting, I had warned them, asked them, or mentioned them that I was doing deals that probably were out of scope in my mind or probably in their mind to be talking about multi-millions. So, knowing that our name is probably familiar, uncommon, or whatever, I told them, if you know people that are listening about me, I'm probably meeting with them, doing this and this, talking about buying companies, multi-million dollar, but whatever. I don't remember the message. It was probably a really not well redacted text message, and I just sent it and assumed they understood it. And I kept going my way. I was working from out of the city in a beach town, doing all this, all remotely. So, less distractions, less external distractions, but I noticed internal distractions. Either way, back to the meeting, ambush meeting, they knew I was acting on this. I was having behaviors that I was limiting and saying no to a lot of things in which I didn't want distractions. Let me lower the volume here. So they knew about this. I was having conflict with them and other family members, and that was the reason they set up the ambush meeting before Christmas last year. So, and I was coming more to the city because I needed to act, looking for businesses and showing my face to the financial institutions. Since October, November, I was on that phase of the QLA program. So, of course, I was an imminent threat, being closer physically to them, but I didn't want to deal with them, you know. So that's the background about the meeting. And then they suggested the psychiatry thing. I was willing. It never happened because I wanted them to put the work of setting up and doing everything. And even then, I told them, is this going or not? If not, I will look for the information myself. No responses. This is all by chats after the meeting. Yeah, I don't call them, I don't insist, I just inundate them with chats and being insisting on my topics that I want to cover. And that psychiatrist, or whatever meeting that was suggested on an ambush meeting, I was following up on that. It didn't came. But then, before New Year's, something happened. I crossed paths with a family member, and almost because he's avoiding me, and for some reason he's, in a sense, like backstabbing me or talking behind me about things I'm telling him privately, and then taking it to other persons, probably out of context, without my version of events or motives or explanations. And I saw him finally in person. Because most of it was through chats or whatever. And I've been finding out he's been talking about our private conversations, whatever they are. And I saw him, and he didn't complain or tell me anything. He just wanted to pass by without saying hi, just crossing nearby a house. And he was in the house where I was going. And I just turned around and I had to tell him, hey, hi. And I lift my hand, say hi. I verbalize the hi. And he's like walking away saying hi, but he saw me that I planted saying this. And he was gonna feel chicken if he left, as he was expecting or planning to do. So he was forced by my position to turn around and come. And then he came like a good alpha male or whatever he wanted to become. And then come and talk to me outside. You know, I'm inside a fence from the house, and he's outside the fence. Well, I was just like, we're gonna have a fight because he's been complaining and he's gonna hit me or whatever. Let's go for that shit. So I go outside and told him, so I go out, he doesn't hit me. He starts telling me, don't tell me this, that, do that. No, I think he didn't even tell me that. I don't want to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you. Just that. But he's talking behind me. And then, like, you are talking things about me, we need to talk. We need to talk. And he's like, we don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. And we need to talk. So that's the funny fucking thing about this fucking toxic family. I want to talk, they don't want to talk. This is a 12-minute video. This is going to be 20 minutes, I know. I've been giving too much background bullshit. So at one point, he does put a limit, like, of things I'm telling him on the chat, that he doesn't tell me anything that bothers him or whatever. And then finally, he puts the limit, don't call me this. Don't call me this. And I'm in his face, calling him that, because he's avoiding me to talk. And I need to push his nerves to come and talk to me. So I'm telling him what he's not wanting me to call him. And that was it. It was a yelling, all neighbors might hear all this shit. And I just came in to the family house, and there's another family fucking member here that is avoiding me. And I told him not to be in the house because he doesn't want to talk with me in a family house, which is not mainly his property, mainly mine with other family partners. And I took a random primitive or cannibal, or how you say, the primitive humans. I told him, get out of my house, but it's not only my house. But I did that many, many months before. And he was here. And he was like, come on, don't talk to him. He told the other family members, his daughters and son, like, going away from me. And like, hey, I need to talk to you also. And he's like, I don't need to talk to you. No, I'm not. And he's like just yelling me with a bad fucking breath on his shorts, because he was probably sleeping. It was nighttime, probably to sleep. And he probably heard me yelling or whatever to the other family member. And he's just yelling in my face with a bad breath that he doesn't need to talk to me, constantly and many times. And I listened it the first time, but he's still repeating it, because I'm saying, I do need to talk to you, just as the previous family member who just left and nothing happened. So I'm here, okay, I'm probably gonna get hit or punched or whatever. Nothing happened either. And that was it. So that was after the ambush meeting with my family. So more days pass. All that, I don't hear no one complain if they knew about what happened at the place. I never knew. Days passed. I just was like, okay, I won't tell anyone and wait to see if something happens. But that's the toxic family behavior. No one's communicating with you. Okay, I expect that, and I know a little bit of it. Then suddenly, I don't know, before New Year's, something happened, and I guess that was it. Or I'm mixing the dates now. Shit. And yeah, I need to sort the dates. But anyway, I had a call from an aunt, the family member of the other guy who was telling him to go out the fence and probably fight or whatever, and we didn't fight. She called me. And like, leave my son alone. And I'm like, I left that motherfucking guy alone. And he's looking for me because he's talking behind me things I'm telling him personally, privately, and telling it to other persons without context. And those other persons, third parties, are complaining about me because of what that third person is saying to them. And that's called, now I know, it's a fucking toxic triangle. And that was what he creating for me, and that's why I wanted to stop him. And I didn't know it had a name. So it's a toxic circle, or 3 points, 3 persons involved, 3 entities, me, probably as the aggressor, him, probably as the victim, and that switches, probably I'm the victim and he's the aggressor. And then a third party trying to make peace. So that was a toxic circle created. So I tell this aunt, I left him alone and now I'm hunting him down. And I'm gonna make a fucking example about your son. And she called me like I'm sick or whatever. Well, I expected all that. And she knew because I was talking to her about all the things I'm doing regarding the family. Because I was coming here to the city more and I was seeing more stuff that are distracting me. And I don't want distractions around me. And I even told her, I'm talking bad of many family members, even including you, to this aunt. And she nodded. Probably she didn't understand it back then. Now she understood it. And then she called me sick and closed the phone. So that's the background story about going to a psychiatrist, then psychologist, then psychiatrist, then the psychiatry test because procrastination, ADHD. And now I have the test and the medication. And this is the meal before my first medication regarding this that I had, didn't treat it, and now I'm executing QLA probably with this medication. I don't know if it's going to be worse or better. If this is going to focus me more. Everyone's in trouble. So I'm going to leave this in 20 minutes. Even the psychiatrist, when I was telling the family meetings that are being handled like business meeting with minutes, with time, with scheduling and all that, she said, no. Let's focus on the procrastination. And then she medicated me. and didn't want to know much more about me. That's about it, guys. I'll keep you posted in this story.